Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of the Poll & Co. sessions. We have a very special guest today. I'm really excited to chat with her, kind of get a little bit more. Just a couple logistics. I have a pinned comment down there saying, if you have any questions for myself or for Bri, be sure to ask it in the chat, because otherwise I won't ask it. Pretty simple. So yeah, today's guest is going to be BbyBri Gaming. She's a pretty good friend of mine. We've done a co-stream, if you guys remember, back in I don't even remember when it was, a couple months ago. But first, let's go through. There are going to be no alerts during the stream after this scene. So everybody, please be courteous of that. I know last week everyone was like, where are all the alerts? But this week, we're just chilling. But Gail said that mic quality, though. I know, I love this microphone. I've only used it for like 5 minutes and I love it. But let's get to our guest, why don't we? So today we are going to be joined by Miss BbyBri Gaming. What's up, Bri? Thanks for coming on. Uh-oh. I got no sound. Oh, I unmuted the wrong one. There we go.
I was like, did you mute me? Did you really just mute me?
I sure did. Thanks for coming on, Bri. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm great. So let's get started off with my favorite question is, who is BbyBri Gaming?
Well, that's me. Duh. I mean, I don't know. She is I guess she's an entity of who I am. Like, I guess outside of streaming, she's like the person that I wish I could be every day. You know, being able to like talk to people, be there to help others out. I mean, I still try to help, day to day if, it's presented, but I'm very like nervous. Anthony, one of my followers, came by to our house the other day, and I was talking a lot, but I feel it's because I had already spoken to him like through, I guess, like gaming. But if he wouldn't, I would have just been like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
And it's really crazy how when I'm very introverted as well, but once you get in front of the camera, once you're kind of when you're playing a game with someone, it's like really easy to kind of open up to them and just kind of get a conversation going. But when you're face to face, it's just kind of like, what do I say?
Okay, so that's a person. I'm a person too.
Exactly.
So it's kind of, like, I mean, before this, I was kind of like, okay, like, I'm excited, I'm ready. And then now I'm just like, oh crap, there's going to be people watching. There's going to be like polling close people watching. So it started setting in. So I'm just like, breathe.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really different when it's like when it's your own stream versus you're being interviewed by somebody. Like I think my first interview was with Manny Plays Games, and that was a train wreck. I didn't know it was going to be an interview until he started interviewing me, and I was like, what did I sign up for?
You're just like, so now I have to speak, right? Like, right. Now I have to answer these questions.
I was like, I wasn't prepared. I didn't talk in front of the mirror before I came on.
You're like, I didn't practice enunciating my words.
Right. But let's get into our first question, or the first real question. So what got you into streaming, and when did you start streaming?
I started streaming almost a year ago. Sorry about Joey. He's like excited, or he just came into like the hacker. If it gets like too loud, just let me know. Okay. So I started streaming about a year ago on my birthday. We had created the page 3 days prior, and it was just kind of like Joey just saying, like, let's just make you a page, like, I'm streaming, so you should give it a try too. So I was like, how about no, because I don't want to talk to people. And he was like, just try it out, like for your birthday. Like we didn't go out,
Mhm.
so I was like, okay, like I'll just try it. And I held over maybe like 50 people watching from like my city, from like around.
Oh wow.
And I was just like, so I'm just gonna keep playing. And then 8 hours later, I was like, I want to stream tomorrow. I want to do this again. And Joey was like, so now you're hooked on streaming, huh? But it was more so like I didn't consider it a job like I do now. It was just kind of like a way for me to interact with people. And now like I get to be with Olive every single day. Like she's literally just behind me, like eating her snacks, playing. And it was just like I can make my own schedule now and like talk to people like around the world. And I have people from the UK, from even Greece and India. Wow. And I'm just like, I reached that part of the world. Like people know me and they're like, oh my God, I always watch you. And I'm like, I just see myself as a small city girl that like was bullied, that, you know, doesn't have many friends. And I'm just like, wow, there's a whole world out there that is just so supportive of like me and Olive and Joey. And like I just continued on with it. And I was just like, you know what, like I'm not just doing this for myself or for Olive, because, you know, that's my priority, but like for the people out there that are watching, that I've helped overcome stuff, that I've helped through stuff, and like have helped motivate like in any little way. So I do it for them.
Yeah, and that's what makes you such a good streamer. Like I always enjoy going into your streams because like that's primarily what you do. You're all about like kind of promoting everyone else. Hey Joey.
Like, right now, like Joey. Joey just wanted to say hi.
Hello. What's up?
What do you say?
He said, "What's up?"
What's up? Tell him I said, how you doing?
He said, "How are you doing?"
How you doing?
He said, "How you doing?"
I'm good. Man. I'm good. Looking sexy, boy. I see you.
He said, "You're looking mighty sexy right now."
Oh man.
That's coming from Joey, okay? So I'm just like,
it's like, yeah, next. So, like you were talking about how you would really enjoy like kind of uplifting other people. One thing that I've noticed with a lot of other streamers that have come into contact with you is you're all about like helping other streamers. Yeah. You know, like I know like with me, it was just like I popped in and I was like, hey Bri, what's up? And you're like, I've been trying to like twist his arm to do a co-stream. And I'm like, I'm not ready, but okay.
Yeah, he was so nervous. Like you would come in, you know, you would talk as like, you know, your gaming page. And like I was like, if people come into my stream and like talk to me like with their gaming page, that's completely fine. It's just more, I guess my rules are more like, don't self-promote, which I've had a handful of people be rude in that sense. And they're like, you need to like share this. And I'm like, I don't need to do anything.
Right.
If I see you and like I like your content, I like who you are as a person, then I'm going to try to put you out there.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me to do something, that's kind of like going negatively against you, you know?
Right.
So I had like been telling John like, hey, let's play. And you were just like, I'm not that good. And I was just like, okay, I don't care. Like, let's just play for fun. And you were just like, so let me practice for like about a week or two.
Yeah. And it didn't help.
Then it finally happened and you were like doing really good. And then we played with Gillionaire. And then it just made it fun. Like it's just about having fun. It's not like, oh yeah, we're gonna get 1,000,001 wins. It's about just having fun and creating like those memories.
Right. And it's all about having that kind of connection between the two different streamers. Like another streamer that I've noticed, like you just like, I don't know what it was that made the connection, but you and like Social Lord Gaming. Like I remember talking to him and he was like, yeah, I co-streamed with Bri like the other day. And this was like months ago. This is before like my co-stream with you. He's like, he's like, I co-streamed her with the other day, and it wasn't even like a real like let's co-stream. It was like I was playing and she was playing, and then she was like, do you want to co-stream? And I was like, that is the coolest thing. because like you don't see a lot of streamers do that. You don't see a lot of
Yeah.
people that are like, oh, you're live and we're playing the same game and I enjoy like talking to you. Like let's just go ahead and just co-stream, just kind of like impromptu. Like that's a
Yeah.
really cool thing. Same thing with like I know last Friday, like you and Joey and a couple others all joined up with Gil,
Mhm.
and that was awesome. Like I
Yeah,
didn't get
like
to see
Gil-
it. I was like a little asleep, but I got
It's
to see
like
it
a
after.
lot of sleep.
a lot of sleep. Yeah.
No, yeah, but like Gil, Joey sent me his Gil's Discord link, and he's like, "Hey, check it out! Like Gil wants to talk to you." And I was like, "Gil wants to talk to me? Okay." So I kind of like fangirled because I fangirl over like other streamers, you know. Like I'm
Mhm.
not gonna be like, "Oh, like you know, I'm the top." No, like that's never gonna be it. And a lot of people
Mhm.
think that I'm stuck up, and I'm like, if you come in with like the right attitude, like
Yeah.
you're gonna receive so much more out. But if you
Mhm.
come in like, oh, I'm the best in the world and in the city and this and that, like obviously it's gonna reflect badly on you.
Right.
But literally, I think it was yesterday, I did an impromptu like co-stream with Amber Spice because
Mhm.
she was playing Warzone, and one of her viewers came into my, oh my god, I'm out of breath, I'm talking so much. One of her viewers came into my stream and was like, "Hey, Amber needs players. Like, would you mind, you know, playing up with her?" And I was like, "Oh well, I had been running solos." So I was like, "Does she need someone? Like, I'm down if she needs someone." And they were
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, like join up." And like we ended up playing for like maybe 2 hours, which just like, you
Oh
know,
wow.
messing around and like just having fun. Like
Mhm.
she was even telling me like, "Oh my god, like I mentioned you like on my stream the other day because like me playing Warzone, I thought about you." And I was like, "Oh, that's so cute." Like, you know, just like that.
Mhm.
But like I with social, he had come in from a disabled gamer raid, and whenever Josh like raids me, I'm just like, "Oh my god, now I need to like show off for you guys and I'm not ready."
Yeah.
And Josh is like, "Just have fun." So I do. And from, I don't know if you've read like all of social's thank you posts,
Oh my gosh. Yes.
but like we had connected through him talking about his kid, and like obviously Olive is always around me, so that's
Mhm.
one way that people connect with me. They're like, "Oh my god, like I have kids too, like that's how I play with my kid."
Yeah.
So for Eric, it was more to see, I guess, someone be more of a human being than
Mhm.
just a streamer, and him
Yeah.
being like, "Oh my god, can like I keep up a conversation with her?" And he did. Like I try to keep conversations up with anybody in my chat. So that's another way that like my followers and viewers and
Mhm.
anybody who watches can like come in and just like, you know, just talk to me. Like if I'm in an intense game, then I'm just like, "Okay, give me a second, but I'll
Yeah.
get back to you."
Right. But when you're going and you're promoting, you're basically promoting without like completely promoting other streamers. Like how do you find these like small streamers that like that kind of catch your eye? Is it more from your chat or do you go and watch other streamers?
Half is like from my chat,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say like from my chat, like my people are streamers, so they're like, "Oh, can you check me out?" And I'm not gonna lie, there are a couple that I don't like the way that they stream,
Mm-hmm.
in the sense that just I guess how they act, how they carry themselves, and I'm just like, okay, like that's like that's a little bit questionable because that's not who I see in my chat.
Yeah.
So obviously communities for each streamer reflects the streamer.
Mm-hmm.
So I want my community to reflect like positivity, being inclusive, like supporting one another. But if you're like showing off like anger and just like, you know, not something that's in my chat, I'm just gonna like be like, "Oh, okay, like I'm gonna be a little bit more cautious."
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm looking for somebody to raid at the end of my stream, I literally look for people that don't have many viewers, that have like 1 or 5, and I raid them. And they're like, "Oh my god, like thank you so much." Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's more like I'll stay around for a while to see how they carry themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And if I see that that's a person that I like, then like I'll continue to rate them if I ever catch them online again.
Mm-hmm.
But it's mostly just like if they attract me, if that makes sense, like
Mm-hmm.
if their energy matches my energy,
Yeah.
kind of type of deal.
And that's kind of like that's what I do whenever I raid people is like I'm looking for the smaller people because when I had one viewer or no viewers in my stream, like I would have killed for somebody even to do like a 5-person raid or a 10-person.
Yeah.
And like I'll normally raid if I have like 10 or more people at the end of my stream, which is insane for me to say now. Like if this was like a month or two ago, I would have been like, I'm not raiding anybody because I don't have anybody. But
Yeah.
like what I look for is as soon as I send the raid over is I go over and check them out and I look to see if they're kind of conducting themselves like I would normally on my stream. Like my entire community is about spreading love, you
Mhm.
know, like, but I know yours does exactly the same thing. I know when we co-stream, that was like all you were promoting. And that's what homeboy that's yelling in the background was promoting.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little bit more like dirty. Like he does a lot of like innuendos and all of that. And I
Mhm.
mean, I love a good dick joke. Like, I'll laugh, like I'm
Uh-huh.
human. But I feel like once I started seeing like my page growing
Mhm.
and my community, like I started seeing more people coming through, I felt like I needed to pick like a side that I was gonna represent.
Yeah.
And obviously there's a lot of bad talk about streamer girls, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
The biased. But I didn't want to be like that. So
Mhm.
whenever, because of like past trauma and just like, me trying to be comfortable with, providing like entertainment for everybody, I set my limits that my mods know and
Mhm.
all of my chat knows. So I like, let's say Hitman. You know who
Mhm.
Hitman is?
Yeah.
Okay, very vulgar streamer,
Mhm.
but his community is very strong. So whenever
Yeah.
he's rated me before, I'll let the dick jokes slide because that's his community and I completely understand that.
Mhm.
But like for me, I don't want to be the basic gamer girl. I wanted
Mhm.
to be someone that was respectful, that you can have fun with, but also like not be dirty with.
Yeah.
Like I never wanted to get views from me sexualizing myself, if that makes
Right.
sense. I wanted to kind of keep it family friendly, but also like for a lot more other people to just be able to like just feel like they were one with me.
Yeah. You want them to feel welcome.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna kind of rephrase the question that I have in the chat from Gil. It's like because
Oh.
he said, "Is it hard to be a streamer girl? But is it? What are some challenges you faced being a girl that streams and plays a game like Call of Duty? Where I've heard plenty of the chat. Like I've seen a lot of other female streamers that struggle with this with like certain issues, like you were saying, like you almost have to sexualize yourself as that's how some of them feel.
Yeah.
So like, what are some challenges that you've come into as far as being a streamer?
Wearing a spaghetti strap. I can never wear a spaghetti strap without being sexualized. That's like literally like I'm wearing a dress right now and it's like pretty
Mhm.
high up, but like I will still get those comments that are like, "Oh my god, you're showing shoulders? Like my husband is on this app." Like, listen, lady, if you can't control your husband, I'm sorry. Like I'm not doing anything.
Mhm.
But I guess it would just be that I'm not saying all men, Gil,
Mhm.
John.
Oh, Gil.
I'm just saying like I'm excluding you guys,
Oh,
Joey as
okay.
well, and like my friends. Just men don't know how to like keep their thoughts to themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying every girl has gone through trauma or in in like extreme situation, but like just be respectful. It's very hard to be respected as a like a streamer girl because of like the bad reputation that's been out there for many years.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying like, oh, Sniper Wolf always did this, or like not to mention any names, but like a lot of girls, and I've said this before on my stream, a lot of girls do make their market off of sexualizing themselves, and they make it work for them. Like they're very comfortable with that, and kudos to you, but like I can't. I have this little one looking up to me, and I don't ever want her to feel like she needs to put her body out there, or be joking about phalluses for her to like be something like in life.
Yeah, definitely. And those are all great points. I mean, that's something that I know a lot of other just female players or female just viewers really appreciate about your stream is that you're not. I had another streamer friend that said she's gotten like compliments in her chat, like, I'm so glad you're not another boob girl. That's just something that people think about. Like they're like, oh, it's a female streamer, it's gonna happen, here's another boob girl or something like that. And I don't appreciate it. Like I don't like when that's what everyone goes to the female streamers for. Like they're going there to get their fix or whatever. Manny says, what was your growth like when you started out to where you are now? Was it explosive? Did it take time? Like how did Bri go from like 0 to like 5 followers to the, I think, what are you at, like 16, 17K now?
16,400.
Damn.
Yeah, so it took some time. Like with everything, it takes some time. Obviously, being a girl, it is going to be a little bit easier. I don't think I'm the most beautiful princess out there, but I'm not gonna say I'm like the ugliest frog ever. So obviously I have my face going for me, like from time to time when I do my makeup, but it was more like I started kind of getting streamer hungry around March. And I was like, okay, now I need to stream every day, and I was streaming 8 to 16 hours a day. And
wow.
Yeah, so within like 2 months I kind of burnt myself off. But within those 2 months I reached 1,000 followers, and then it came to like 5,000. So it like it helped me in a way, but not personally.
Yeah.
So what's it called, I would just say, like, if you're a streamer out there trying to grow, set a schedule. Try to play with your followers, because that was like one of my main things, that like I play with my followers, because I don't believe like the pay to play. So if you're a supporter, yeah, you get a little bit more incentive, but if you're a follower, like I'll still play with you. I'm not gonna treat you any less. And that was like a really big thing that a lot of people had liked. And I mean, obviously getting noticed by like Nitro Luke, Hitman.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that doesn't hurt. Minx, it was Minx, Lynx, freaking Emma Stunna, like all of the bigger streamers. And it was basically not them just kind of finding me. It was me going into their stream and like trying to make a conversation with them. And just like, just keeping the conversation. And it's what I tell everybody. If you want me to like kind of check you out, you need to like come into my stream, get to know me a little bit, let me get to know you, and then we can move forward from there, instead of like, hey, this is my stream, check me out. Like, because I have hundreds of those messages, and I'm just like, I mean, I'll check you out, but like I will kind of judge you a little bit more harder than you just like coming in and talking to me, because I feel like that's a little bit more of a genuine connection than just being like, oh, hey, this is business, check me out.
Yeah, and that's basic networking. Like if you want to make a connection with somebody, or you want somebody to come and promote you while you're going in their stream, that's what you do. You have to go in there and you have to just talk to them. You're not going in with the with like the prerogative of, oh, I'm going to talk to them. They're so much bigger than me. I'm going to, hopefully they'll raid me, or hopefully they'll come into my stream or send everybody to me. Like that's the complete wrong message, you know?
And it should never be like, oh, I'm going to get this person to raid me. It should be, I want to play with this person and show them what I have.
Yeah.
And that's why I play in Nitro's lobbies. I am complete ass compared to Nitro. But if I've literally said this to Amber, if I ever get killed by Nitro, I'm literally just gonna scream, Nitro, I love you, and then have him like be like, who the hell was that? Like,
yeah.
And then it'll create something. Or if I kill him, if he like says, oh my god, that was a hacker, I'm just gonna be like, hey, well, I'm not a hacker. you know?
No, that was me.
that was just little old me. I got lucky. You just you weren't paying attention.
Right. So as far as like growing your channel just in general, it's all about putting yourself out there in a positive way. We have another question. Says this question's for both of us. Good Lord, you don't want to hear my answers. But what would you say is your biggest challenge when it comes to streaming? Like, I know what mine is. Like, mine is 100% myself. Like, I'm my biggest challenge. Like, a lot of people say, oh, it's the algorithm. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. No, there's something else. Like, yeah, Facebook changes their algorithms weekly, it feels like. Which, yeah, that can affect certain people. Like, for me, my biggest challenge is I get in my head a lot, especially after my stream. Like, after my stream, I do the very toxic, let me look at my stats, let me see how that is. And I'll either be like, man, today was fire, or be like, man, I don't know if I can do this anymore. It's like one of those things. So for me, it's like, it's more my own mental health that's my biggest barrier in my streams. Because I'm either on it or I'm not. Like, there's not an in-between for me. But what about for you, Bri? Like, what would you say is your biggest challenge in streaming?
I would say Joey's trying to show off to me right now.
Oh.
What's it called? I would say it would be myself also, because like at the end of the day, you shut off the lights, you turn off the camera, and you're literally alone with yourself. And I've always said that, like, when I started streaming, this is my way to socialize with other people. And the reason why I streamed for such long periods of time was because I needed that, like, interaction with others that I didn't have in real life. And it was just nice to know that there was, like, somebody out there that listened. And it was nice to know that, like, somebody was just, like, they became one with me. Like, they're like, oh my god, like, I'm going through the same thing. And I'm like, what? Like, that happened? Like, there's like people out there that feel like me.
Yeah, and it's like you feel like you're alone, and there are other people that are feeling alone in the same way that you are, and it's like that's a huge connection there.
Now with your
there's
shoes
Olive.
On. Thank you. You wanna come say hi? She's asking to play patty cake, but with like her shoes on.
Oh man, hi Olive.
Ow. Hello, say hello. So no, dirty. No, take them off, child. You know what you're doing wrong. So besides Olive being my biggest struggle, it would just be like, again, myself, because I would read like the negative comments and I would like answer back and fight back.
Yeah.
And Joey would tell me like, hey, don't do that, because then you're just putting a negative name for yourself. And I'm like, but he called me trash. Like, why can't I be better than him? Like, just because I'm just better.
Yeah.
That's literally totally joking. But like, it was that I would, stream, have the stars, pay for whatever my daughter needed, and then not being a good enough mom because I wasn't spending enough time with her. And I'm like, well, I sleep 2 to 4 hours a night so that I could stream while my daughter is asleep or whenever she does sleep, and then like spend time with her. And it was like, well, you're not doing enough as a mom. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm literally doing everything that I can. Yeah. So it was just like myself, and like I would just overthink, and then finally I was just like, you know what, like I'm tired of making everybody else happy without making myself happy.
Mhm.
So I kind of said, like, you know what, screw my star goals for the month. Like, I want to play something that I enjoy and that I can laugh with, like with my friends and like my followers and my supporters, and like I can still have like Olive obviously make a mess back there, but I know that she's okay. And you know, just kind of like take a little bit more self-care for me.
Mhm.
And like I know with you, like you have another job, which is
Yeah.
extremely hard. So I can understand how you can like be hard on yourself hearing,
Mhm.
you know, all that you do here. And that's why like we also try to be there for people that have like issues, that have like negative thoughts,
Yeah.
that, you know, just need someone to be there for them. And even if we don't have that person like for ourselves, we want to be that person for them to, you know, like be there
Exactly.
and like possibly save a life, basically.
So I just wanted to relay a couple messages from the chat, just from you talking about this, talking about your own personal struggles, kind of talking about, you know, being a female streamer. I have Sammy Zella from Sammy Streams in here. She says, "I'm really enjoying hearing her. This is so spot on. I don't think I've ever seen her, but I'm gonna follow. Very relatable." Mike said, "Happiness comes first," and that's 100% right. Like, I mean, like, and I think the whole connection between like you and Sammy having linked up is because she plays mainly World of Warcraft. She does play some Call of Duty from time to time. So, but we do have another question, and it's just kind of a couple of our questions kind of put together into another. It says, what would you say to a new up and coming young female streamer to help her get started?
You're gonna have to have really thick skin.
Mhm.
That is like the number one thing. You're gonna have people call you trash because simply you're a girl and you can get 5 more kills than they can. They're gonna call you fat even though that you're skinny. They're gonna call you like any and everything in the book, even if you
Mhm.
aren't. I've been called a bad mom because I'm playing with Olive asleep on my chest because she
Right.
woke up from a nightmare, and I'm just trying to like, you know, be there for my daughter, but also like play. And they're like, I've been called a bad mom, and I've been told, go put your child to bed. Like, you should be taking care of your kid instead of playing video games. And I'm like, this is how I take care of my child. Like, she's
Yeah.
literally on me. What do you want me to do? Like, get inside of her? Like, I can't do that. Like, what do you want? So, gotta have gator skin. Exactly. So, I get a lot of messages that
Mhm.
are like, do you have OnlyFans? I've been sent porn links before.
Oh my goodness.
So really, really be cautious when going through your messages.
Mhm.
And like, I've just, you know, don't burn yourself out, because I did exactly what Joey told me not to do. And I got too high off of the streamer, you know, rush,
Yeah.
and I burned myself out. And I'm barely gonna come up to a year. And yes, I've come a really long way,
Mhm.
but it's also been thanks to like the people that I play with, other streamers that I associate myself with, the people that I support also.
Mhm.
And what's it called? If it's a link, don't click. Oh my god.
Ace.
I know that for sure.
Yeah.
But I've had people send me links like of their streams. So it's like, you know, I'm very
Which-
cautious of what happens.
Yeah. Mike said, don't listen to the haters, just do you and keep trucking. And Sammy agrees, you have to have thick skin. And yeah, she's experienced similar situations. I mean, it's like, I mean, guys on the internet are gross.
And I'm
That's-
sorry, but it's mostly guys. I'm
It is.
sorry. Like
I'll agree 100% with you. I'm like, I don't see people coming in my chat like, hey, you got one of those OnlyFans?
hey, big daddy.
Hey, big
what
guy.
are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
And
you
so-
don't see that. And I'm like, where are the female that does this? Like, come on.
They don't.
Don't do this to us.
Or they only do that to like the guys that are like shredded, that stream with their shirt off.
Oh my god,
Like,
yeah,
like
I think that's like so gross.
Mike
I'm like,
says,
really?
hashtag
You gotta
guys are
do that?
gross. Guys are
Very
gross.
hashtag. I'm literally gonna get a tattoo that says hashtag guys are gross. Susie says hello.
Yeah, and Tom said, "Thank you, Bree. We're going to be watching that closely because their daughter is wanting to get into streaming. I've been kind of pushing her, like, yes, do it. She's 13, and yeah, like she wants to get into it at 13, which is crazy. Like to me, is crazy. Like at 13, I was like, this internet thing is just starting.
You're like, so Pokemon Go?
No, not even that. Back then was like, hey, you want to have a LAN party with our Xboxes?
Oh my god.
But let's go to one of your questions from one of your people. Let's see.
I'm just gonna add a little bit. I
Okay.
have helped a 12-year-old girl start streaming. Her dad
Mhm.
is one of my supporters, and him and her actually watched me together. And I was like, oh my god, like I'm sorry, like I'll like stop with the cursing. And he was like, no,
Mhm.
like I curse, like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
But she started off on YouTube. She does not have a cam, so
Okay.
maybe like go towards like the no cam zone for a little bit and keep a close eye to like her chat. If somebody's just being rude, try to like protect her. Like I mean,
Mhm.
my mods are literally like my parents. Like they try to protect me because one wrong comment will literally trigger 6 years of trauma.
Yeah.
So they're like very close and attentive to like what is like being said. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't knock it if my daughter told me like, hey mom, like I want to stream. I would be like, heck yeah, you know, like let's go. But I would literally like, that's Olive right there, and I would just be like, yep, I'm watching the chat. I see you guys. Yep, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Like that would literally be me.
And that's like I have a a father son duo that I watch, father and son nerd review, and they're the same way. Like Zach does all the playing and Mike does all the talking for the most part. And he's like, Mike is the one monitoring the chat while Zach is just doing his thing.
Yep.
And yeah, he just commented, said that's what I do with Zach. You can talk trash to me all day, but Zach insta ban. Like yeah. And I
like
mean,
Olive will like take over my stream and she'll freaking play, and people
Yeah.
are like, oh my gosh, you got a kill, and I'm like, Olive, you got a kill? Like what? Like what is going on right now?
yeah.
But like I would never like get in the way of my kids' like interests. I would just
Yeah.
be very cautious about it, and as they get older, if they understand, obviously like tell them a little bit more of like, you know, the things that can happen. Like my mom was very open with us and saying like there's bad people out there, there's people that can hurt you, and you know, when you come across a situation, this is what you can do. And it's helped me a lot. I mean, not as much as I would like it to, but it has like helped me be a better mom for Olive.
And so let's see. Oh, there's a lot of really good questions that your chat sent. So let's see. If you let's say if you didn't have streaming, like if you didn't have the streaming or Olive or Joey, like what would you be doing right now?
Trigger warning, I would probably still be using drugs. Olive and Joey have been, I'm sorry.
No,
I
you're
didn't think
fine.
it would like hit me.
Yeah.
But when I first met Joey, I was like going through like this really deep hole, and I was trying to like be his best friend and help him through like whatever he was going through, not really like taking care of myself, until Joey taught me that like there are people that care about you, there are people that can genuinely, you know, love you. And then Olive happened, and I'm not gonna say that I was like the best mom. I did have you know, suicide like thoughts, and like I have like ended up where I don't want to be. And once I met Olive, I couldn't see her until 3 days after she was born, just because of like some BS. But once I saw her, I literally like told myself nothing is ever gonna hurt my daughter or like take me away from her. So as much as she gets me frustrated on stream, and as much as Joey gets annoying with his dick jokes, they've literally been a light in like a very dark tunnel. Joey was my best friend, my boyfriend, my family when I needed him to. Olive was my reason to live for about a year and a half that I had to like get up and be like, I have a child I need to take care of. And like now it's basically just streaming and working towards building a better future for her and like a life together, because obviously right now we both have our separate homes, not because we want to, but because like it kind of needs to be like that because Joey can't move in with us. But like we're here almost 24/7. But it's just like to kind of pave the way for us to like just kind of get away from all the negativity and just like start fresh, because like I feel like we all need and deserve that. And Olive needs to have like both her parents together and happy, just to like continue loving her and just teaching her how to be like the good person that she is, because she's very compassionate, she's very caring, she's very gentle with like disabled kids. And if like you're sad, Olive will be like, oh my god, you're sad? And then she'll be like, here. She'll like share her snack, she'll like give you a hug, and she hates affection. But if she sees you feeling down, she will be literally be like, okay, here's my iPad, like come on, watch, come. Like, you know, she'll make you feel included so that you don't feel alone. So
and that's
like
great.
I truly feel like the way that I was going before I met Joey and Olive, like I wouldn't be proud of who I am today.
And that's amazing. Like, I mean, like nobody was expecting to get anything like this kind of deep or this emotional.
I wasn't expecting this crap.
And I mean, this is exactly why I wanted to start these sessions. Is I want people to know you. That's why I asked you on here. I don't want them to know like the streamer Bri. I want them to know Bri. You know, and like stuff like this, nobody would have known this just watching your stream, or like nobody would have known that any of that happened, and that's amazing. And you have a community that absolutely loves you, like, and I know my community, like if you read through my chat, they are eating this up. They love it. Like they just,
and this is not like a publicity stunt. Like
No.
Poland Co is not my publisher. I'm not trying to like. I literally read the questions that my followers had like said, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that's fine. I didn't expect this like either. Like now that it's like my mom says, like, don't think about your answer. Like the first thing that comes to mind, that's like how you truly feel. And I literally answered like the first thing that came to my mind, and I was just like, crap. Like that's literally how my life was going. And as much as I have the support of my brother and my mom and my sister now, back then I didn't. And I know that I just wouldn't want them to find me in a negative way. Back then.
Definitely. Let's go to something a little bit more lighthearted. So the first question I read, I laughed really, really hard at. So I have to ask it.
Oh God.
Do you believe in aliens, ghosts, conspiracy theories, D, all of the above?
Okay, I hope you laughed, because I literally have an alien tattoo.
I love it. I love it.
I do believe in aliens. I think that we're not the only people that are alive. Obviously, the galaxy is so massive for there not to be life somewhere else. Like, really? There's just dust out there? Like, I don't think that. I do think that there are alternate universes, and I've gotten fucked over by mine a couple of times within the last 2 years. So thank you, alternate universe, but please just give me a break. Let me stay here for a bit. What's it called? Obviously, conspiracy theories. I'm a really big like fan of that. And yeah, I do think that there's like more out there than like we know,
Oh yeah.
and we're just like little FBI agent in my laptop. Please don't turn this off. But I do think that there are stuff out there that, you know, is being hidden from us. And like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we're in experiments, and like
Mm-hmm.
I've quit drugs. Okay, I'm like freaking like almost 3 years sober. But
That's
like,
amazing.
okay, well, like 3.5. But like I just do believe in all of that. I do think
Mm-hmm.
that there is more out there, and before I get killed off in my sleep by my FBI agent, that is all.
No, you'll just see
So
ads about conspiracy theories. That's all you'll see. He'll be like, "Oh, you
okay,
have.
well,
Oh, you think about all this. Here's more. Here's more.
it's
Keep
like,
thinking."
yeah. So this is what a cow that just vanished in the middle of nowhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no explanation for that. But like it's just weird. Like I'll literally be talking to Joey about one thing, and then I'll be on TikTok and see exactly that.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, wait, like it's not in my search history. I didn't look this up.
Oh,
Like,
they
where
heard
is this
you.
coming from? Yeah, like I do think that they do hear us.
Yeah.
So if the stream goes down, just know the FBI did it.
No, you're not leaking out too much information. You're good.
I'm like,
What's
not
that?
not all that I know.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. You know, it's like you know, you have the other streamers like getting fed all this stuff, and you're like, okay, new topic. All right, we're good. But here's another question. So, did you and Joey ever have a streaming rivalry with each other? Like, where you were like, you know, oh, I'm gonna have the more viewers, or I'm gonna have more followers, anything like that? Because I know, like, it does. You do get a little bit of, I would hope, maybe a little bit of competition between
It
the two of you.
wasn't like a rivalry. It was more like jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
I am currently partnered with Sneak Energy.
Mm-hmm.
Olive is like fighting her sleep right now, so she's like arguing with her dad. So if she starts crying, I'm just gonna mute myself.
Aw. Oh, Olive, it's okay. Oh. So, what you guys are experiencing is kind of like all of you parents out there have probably been there at some point where it's just
Yes. Oh. So basically, when I first got partnered with Sneak Energy, Joey was like, "What? Are you serious?" And I could
Mhm.
kind of tell that his tone was like kind of jealous. Like,
Mhm.
oh my god, like just stop talking. And like I was just like, yeah, so it's just gonna be for like a couple of months. Let's see how it goes. And then they extended my contract, and I actually got Joey partnered,
Mhm.
but he like broke one of the rules. So like
Gotcha.
sadly he's not there anymore, but I got him in.
Mhm.
And it was just kind of like, oh my god, dude, like I've been trying to like work with them for like 3 years. I can't believe, how did they find you? Like you're a nobody on streaming. I barely had like 1,000 like
Mhm.
people, and it was just like, I don't know, like they reached out to me,
Yeah.
but it's more like to build each other up. I guess that was like the one thing that was like, oh, okay, like little rivalry. But
Mhm.
I got him in, so I was like, dude, chillax. Like, I got you. Like, I have an in with the inside man, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you.
And
And
the follow-up question with that was, how did you guys work through it? How do you guys work through like this little bit of like jealousy / rivalry kind of thing?
honestly, just trying to like be there for each other, help each other out.
Mhm.
Obviously streaming times differ. If he's streaming and Olive is being as, you know, whiny as she is right now, I'll get off and I'll like take care of her.
Mhm.
But it's more to like kind of like rate each other. If like he's trying to get to a goal, I'll rate him.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to get to a goal, he'll rate me. But it's just like, you know, helpful to like share each other and like talk about each other, play with each other, and just be like, oh hey, like you got 30 kills, that's freaking awesome. I'll be
Yeah.
like, I got 10, you know, like I reached 10 today, double digits.
Yeah.
but it's not like, oh my goodness, dude, like you just did this. Like it's never been that extensive. We've always been super supportive of each other.
Hmm.
um I'll get kind of like jealous also when he gets things that I don't get, and I'm just like,
Hmm.
oh, that's cool. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like just shut up now.
Yeah.
But
And
like it's just being happy for each other, like because you never want to see like your partner like down or just like not go anywhere. You always want to try to build them up and like
hmm.
help them build up, and that's like the thing that you should always try to do. Like right now, he got off obviously like to be with Olive
Yeah.
because she's just gonna fall asleep in like 10 minutes. But I'm doing this right now,
Yeah.
so it's just like helping each other in that sense.
Hmm. Now, where is it? Eric Landry said, what inspired you? What inspired me to start streaming? Like, I know you said like Joey kind of was like, hey, you should try it out. But what kind of was it, that first high of like, I had like 50 people that kind of like inspired you to keep going? Or was there something else that happened either in or on or off stream that you were like, I want to keep doing this?
Honestly, it was when I like reached like my stars, like the
Hmm.
first 2 months that I had like stars. Obviously, I wasn't streaming often. Like I would probably stream like 1 or 2 days a month,
Hmm.
and then I was like, okay, like I'm gonna try this out seriously. Like let's see what happens. And I kind of told my mom, and I was like, hey mom, like I can possibly turn this into a job. So she was like, okay, that's cool. And then the next day she bought me a $700 like gaming laptop. She's like, will this like help you? And I was like, yes, yes, that will definitely help. Like, yes,
Hmm.
mother, thank you. And from there, it was just to kind of like just keep pushing, try to prove myself that
Hmm.
I can do something extraordinary and provide for like myself and Olive. And like as I did that, and as like, I'm not gonna say like it was all like just money talk.
Hmm.
I saw people coming in and being like, oh my god, Bri, like since I started watching you play, like I've, you know exceeded in this and I've done this, and like I saw my followers like little milestones and like their
Hmm.
goals being met, and I was just like, that's freaking awesome. And now
Hmm.
people will come in and be like, oh, I watched you since like day one, and like you've gotten so much better. And that was always like my biggest fear, that I never got better at the game, because
Yeah.
I was only getting like 1 kill, 1 assist with Joey.
Hmm.
So for them to be saying like, oh my god, you've gotten so good, like for me that was like, I'm doing something good, like with my
Yeah.
stream. I'm doing something that's actually working. And it was just like to have like that person, for people to be like, oh my god, like she's a mom, she's a wife, she's a
Hmm.
gamer, she's a noob, like have all of those things in one, and have them, like I said, connect with me in that way.
Hmm.
And like I'm not always positive and dandy like every single day.
Yeah.
And when I don't feel like streaming, sometimes when it's really bad, like I won't stream. But when I know that streaming will help, I'll stream for like a couple of hours.
Hmm.
And my chat is like, oh my god, dude, like we just thought that you were a robot, like making jokes like, oh, you're
Yeah.
just always happy. But no, it's just showing that, you know we're people as well. Like we go through like the emotions of every day. We have like the highs and the lows, and
Hmm.
we're just here. We're human. At least I try to be human.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Hello out there. Um, but yeah, I mean that's the best thing. Like last week when I had Gil on here, like we talked about the same thing. Is like when you're almost, it feels like when there are the days that you don't want to stream, like you're like, oh, I don't know if it's gonna, if it's gonna be worth it, anything like that, and somebody pushes you, or you're just pushed to hit that start streaming. Sometimes they're the best streams you've had, because even though you're down, you have people in your chat that are always like, like you said, like cracking jokes, like, "Hey, you kind of sound like a robot today. Is this actually Bree?" Like, and I've seen a lot of people are like, "Hey, are you feeling okay?" Like, are you okay? And they're all
Yeah, like
that's
they'll
amazing.
literally notice when like I'm not completely
Mm-hmm.
100% there, and I'm like, yeah, like I'm just fine. Like let's just play. And
Yeah.
Olive is like one of those biggest motivators because like she'll just be sitting down and then she'll look at me. She's like, "Let's go stream, mom." I'm like, "Oh, you want to go stream with me? Like I thought we were gonna have a nice day in, like you know, just eat munchies and just
Mm-hmm.
be here and be sad." And she's like, "No, come on, let's go stream." And like she'll come and she'll sit next to me, and she'll be like, "Okay, go play, go play." And then like she'll be like on her little phone and like doing whatever she's doing, and I'm just like, "Are you sure, Olive? Like, are you gonna behave?" She's like, "Yep." And
Yeah.
I'll like dream, and she's freaking amazing, and she's
Mm-hmm.
like the one person that like motivates me, like, "Hey, like you need to stream." Like I won't even like be like, "Oh, I need to stream." Like she's the one that tells me.
Yeah.
So for a 2-year-old, she's kind of too dang smart.
And that's great. So, kind of building it, kind of toward like the last part of our stream. I like to kind of change it up every. I mean, I say every because I did it differently last time. I'm doing it differently this time, so now it's every time, right?
Okay.
Well, here we go. We have another question. I was going to go somewhere else, but we have one from Lark. It says,
Oh God.
I see you eating on stream sometimes. What's your favorite gamer snack that isn't sponsored?
Oh, that would be like what I always eat would be like Cheetos.
Mm.
Anything Cheeto related. Extra hot are my favorites. Sometimes if I feel like not playing as much, I'll put like hot sauce and lime.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, dumplings. I'll eat freaking steamed dumplings while I'm like just setting up or like loading up to play, and those are my two go-tos: dumplings and Cheetos.
Okay, I try
not sponsored, but Cheetos sponsor me.
Yeah, if Lark said Cheeto life. Let's see. Huh. I'm curious about this question. It says, why do you go by Brianna and not Amaris?
Amaris. Okay, so long story
I'm curious
short,
about that now.
in high school, my first name is Amaris, but in high school, people would like kind of bully me by my name. I mean, literally almost since elementary. They would call me Anaris. I'm a Rice. I'm a Reese. Like they could just never say my name right. So I was like, you know what, just call me Brianna. And then I would say like my junior year or sophomore year, it kind of just stuck. But I was just like, oh, just call me Bri, because like it was just too difficult for people to like just pronounce. It kind of stuck. And then when I met Joey on Instagram, I was like Banana Brianna. So I was just like, oh, okay. So he knew me as Brianna.
It's a nice little icebreaker.
Yeah, basically. And what's it called? Now, BbyBri was just kind of like a little nickname that we had whenever like we would play games like with our friends, like have game nights. There would be like, oh, well, what's your nickname? And I'm like, oh, I'm BbyBri because I'm like Joey's baby or whatever. And they're like, ew, that's gross. But now it's my brand. So hey, suck on them toes.
And you've gotten quite a, kind of built like a little small empire as far as your community. What do you call them? Zombies? Is that your community?
Yeah, my communities are the zombies, and it was literally just a play on words because when I first started streaming, like the defaults for OBS, it was a little zombie, like for the little following that Joey put. So it's like, oh, like Susie is now following you, and I was like, oh, thank you for following me. Now you're my little zombie, and then I was like, wait, you're my zombie. So I was like, damn it, now I have my name. I can't change it. I have to do this. So
I feel like every streamer kind of falls into that. They're like, oh, well, these big name streamers have like their little like community name. And it's like like I know with mine, I remember somebody had asked me like, "Hey, what do you call your community?" And I'm like, Poland community." That works. It kind of works.
The pole community.
I mean, we can go with that too. What do you guys think?
Yeah, like J Money has the money mob, so
Mhm.
it goes with his name.
Yeah.
I don't know when Nitro Luke like calls his, or like
Mm.
I got puppies like has his pup squad or like his pup.
Mhm.
What are they called? Like I don't know, his puppies. He's got his puppies.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just a baby that like is leading all of the zombies. So
Yeah.
it
And-
worked.
Yeah, and it's cool when you have somebody that has like that one name that kind of goes with their name. Like I remember Gil used to call his community the Guild, like spelled out like the actual word
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Guild. And then one day I was just like, dude, you know that sounds like your name. Like, why don't you put Gil 'D? And he was like, oh my god, that's it. We're done.
He's like,
That's all I
brain fart.
need. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I want to talk about, just because I'm very proud of what my team was able to do. Like, what made you want to like come over and say like, hey, I want some alerts. I want a new package. I want all of this. Like, for me, I was like, you know, I'm just making alerts on stream for me. I have them for like my couple friends in the stream team and stuff like that. And then you go and do that, and I'm like, wait, somebody wants what I'm doing. Like, what made you what made you notice it in the first place?
So I always support small businesses. I can't speak. One of my mods actually started a lash business, so now all of the lashes that I wear on stream for like literally every day are just from her, because I want to
Okay.
like support her. I went into your stream one day and I was like looking at your alerts and I was like, they look cool. I was like, I like the little rainbow swishy swish that's going on. And like you had like the cool music in the background, and like you were just like, okay, party dance, and I was just like, damn, like okay, I like, you know, like this energy. And Joey is always telling me like, oh, you need to update your alerts, you need to like do something new, like just don't keep it like, you know, just don't keep it the same forever. So I was like, okay. So then I messaged you and I was like, hey, excuse me, so like how about we like work together? And like I remember I told you, like, my brother was trying to work on my logo, but it had been like 2 months, and I was like, you know what? I got this. Like, I have people asking me for merch. I have people like asking me for other things. Like, I just wanted to be a little bit more professional. So when you guys did it, I love that you guys were so like involved, and you were like always messaging me like, do you like this? Do you like this?
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I can make changes. Like I can tell you what I like and what I don't like. And again, it goes hand in hand to like support small businesses. And from there, it was just kind of like, oh, well, now you guys see all of my alerts, like go check them out. Like if you guys need something done, like whenever people tell me like, oh, I need to get this, and I'm always like, oh, like message Poland Colt and, you know, see what he can do for you. And obviously, since like people would like come into my stream and be like, oh my god, I'm so excited for your new alerts, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, oh, I wasn't supposed to say anything. And I'm like, wait,
oh my
hold
gosh.
on.
Oh my gosh. I forgot who it was. I was working on, like, it was the one stream I slipped, and I was working on your alerts. And I was like, oh, I've been doing your alerts off stream this entire time. And I did that one time. And one of your followers like came in and was like, oh my God, is that the new logo? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, but it like big blown up on my screen says BbyBri Gaming with your logo. And I'm like, I'm
So you're
kinda
like,
busted. No, this is a different BbyBri. This is the BbyBri on Twitch.
You're like,
But-
yeah, so not this.
But that was such a cool project because like I mainly made alerts for myself and for the team just because I was like, the one thing I kept hearing like with anything that I ever researched was if you want to stand out, you need to have personalized alerts. You don't want to have that Streamlabs zombie running on your stream forever. And I had it for, I don't know, a couple months. And I just had the stupid little zombie running around.
I can't believe you just said stupid, but okay, we're gonna be moving on.
Oh, I say stupid. It's just like the stream elements, the You know,
Yeah.
just it's the what is it the heart that pops up with every alert.
Mhm.
Like it's like the same thing. It's like they both have their default things, and it's like if you're only gonna use the defaults, like that's cool, but you're not gonna like be noticed. I've had
Like
people like
it's not personalized. You're
Yeah.
the same as everybody else. It's not gonna catch anybody's attention.
Mm-hmm. And like, I know people have come into your stream, people have come into my stream and Gil's stream, and everyone that I've had the pleasure of making alerts for, like, and they're like, "Whoa, that alert looks so cool!" Like, there's another streamer, BbyBri Gaming, who's streaming right now and is debuting the alerts I made for her, and I was like, "You would debut it on a night that I am doing an interview, because I want to see it." But yeah, like I wanted to talk about that, not even like as like a like here's my flex, like hey, I made all her stuff. But it was like
It's okay. You can flex.
but I'm like
Tell everybody.
I was like more I guess
You were more
not,
like
not so-
shocked
yeah.
for me to like reach
It was
out
like-
to you.
It was like kind of like starstruck or like kind of like fanboying a little bit because I was like, wait, you want me to make you alerts, like me with the little cloud that's like zooming around while Epic Sax Guy is playing. Like that's all I had for a while, and then I started making the others.
Mhm.
And
Well,
then
it was because I would see you doing like all of these alerts, and I was like, damn, this guy like really knows like what he's doing. And it was,
I don't
I
know
mean,
what I'm
whether you
doing.
did, whether you did or you didn't, like it worked. But it was more like you were putting yourself out there, and you
Yeah.
weren't like masking what you were doing. And a lot of people that do like digital art or anything, they're like,
Mhm.
okay, here's like a sketch, here's a circle, and then it's like, boom, super
Yeah.
detailed like skeleton. And it's like, what happened?
Mhm.
Like, you know, what was the process?
Yeah,
He
I
is
have-
the one that put anime thighs on my alerts.
that put what?
Anime thighs, the
Oh.
song.
I sure did.
He is, and for a very long time, my chat would tell me, "Listen to anime thighs, but not on stream." And I was like, "What's why?" And then I finally did it, and I was like, "So I only like that one bit."
You're welcome.
But it was just like, again, it was like supporting
Yeah.
you know, like another streamer. And I was like, okay, well, if he's gonna be working on this, he may stream it. He, you know, can put like his name on my stuff and be like, oh, I made her alerts.
Mhm.
And like, you know, if I ever need to like upgrade or do anything again, I'm gonna like come back to you and be like, hey, like, would you mind
Mhm.
like doing this? Because like, again, like when I started streaming, I was not very good at Warzone, but now I can kind of hold my own. So
Kind
obviously
of.
you, when kind of, so when like you started doing all of like your designs and everything, obviously the more practice you get, the better that you get. So it's kind of like, you know, showing like your progress.
Yeah.
in a way.
And kind of talking about that, like I'm gonna do a little bit of extra promoting on Bree. And I think I'm gonna send you something. Because I want there to be a certain sticker for your supporters, because I say it, a lot of people say it. I need to get you the rocket sniper sticker.
Oh my goodness.
Because if you guys have not watched Bree's stream, she will just
Oh my
like
God.
she'll find a sniper, pull out her rocket, and snipe them before they snipe her, and it's ridiculous.
Yes, I am the RPG queen. And like honestly, when you were doing the alerts, I hadn't even thought about like the supporter alerts.
Mhm.
So then once I got everything, I was like, oh, it's fine. Like they're just supporters. Like nobody's forced to become a supporter,
Yeah.
because obviously not everybody can. So I never wanted to push that onto anybody. So I was just like, you know what, like let's just leave it like that. Like, you know, let's
Yeah.
keep everything else. But yeah, a lot of people tell me that my RPG is better than their sniper. And I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hey. Or like they'll say, isn't that overkill? I'm like, hey, a sniper is
Did it-
overkill because you can be 400 meters away. But if
Mhm.
you know how to use it and you know how to like, you know, run with it and everything, then you
Yeah.
know, because not everybody can.
Mhm. She's talking about me.
I no, I'm talking about like half of the people that I play with, because
Yeah.
they'll try to pick up a rocket and then it'll just go shoo, and they're like,
Yeah.
"What? That was supposed to hit him." I'm like,
I did what you
"No."
did, Bri, and it didn't work.
I'm like, no, I actually have calculations of when like I see a sniper and I'm like, okay, like I have to go here and here and here. And literally
Mhm.
yesterday there was a lot of like RPG sniping and I was just like, yeah, so a bunch of people clipped
Yep.
that. So little
Um,
proud moment there.
yeah, and then yeah, a lot of people on my chat love asking you questions. Like I'm getting a good amount. Have you always liked first-person shooters, or did you jump into it because it's a huge genre?
So I haven't always been a gamer girl, like into games.
Gasp!
I think the first games that I've ever played was when I was like 7 years old, and it was the WWE, like where The Rock was fighting
Which one?
game.
I'm
The
sorry.
very first one.
Oh,
Yeah, the WWE like PS2 game. I think it was PS2 or PlayStation game, one of the two.
mm-hmm.
But it was that, and then it went into like racing games.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't really get into like GTA, just
Really?
because like it didn't catch my attention.
Mhm.
I'm more into like action packed like games. Like I like
Yeah.
to be on my toes. If it's something slow like Rust or like
Like survival games.
little survival games,
Mhm.
I'm not really into them, but I mean like I'll play them, you know, like I play Grounded, I play other games, but like
Mhm.
they're always more fun when you have people to play with. So Joey's the one that always finds the cool games and then he's like, hey, you should try this, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't really start playing video games until about like 4 years ago when I met Joey,
Mm-hmm.
and he was really big into like Rainbow Six, and like I would always see him play and I'm like, oh my god, like this guy just plays video games. And then he was like, oh well, this is like a time you know, we can, you know, spend time together. And I started to really like watch him play and I was like, okay, so you kind of have to think about what you're doing in this game.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be strategic. And I started like, you know, enjoying watching him play. And then he got Metal Gear Solid, I think it was the 5th one,
Mm-hmm.
that there was like a handbook for it. So he would like go, and it was, that game has been like the most realistic game ever
Yeah.
because of like the creator. I can't remember his name. It's like Japanese or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like holding the Metal Gear Solid like handbook, and Joey's
Mhm.
like, oh, I need to do this, and I'm like, hold on, I got it. So like I would
Yeah.
like look through the book and I'd be like, okay, you need to do this and you need to do that, and then he'd be like, okay, cool. And then we first started playing like, I think it was Black Ops 3,
Mm-hmm.
and we tried playing zombies. Zombies scared the heck out of me. Dead by Daylight, all of the zombie games that Joey like had that I would buy him, or like just anything, I would just be like, don't play them at night when I'm watching the TV because I am gonna have nightmares. And I
Yeah.
would like go to sleep until like 6 in the morning. I'd just be like, nope, no zombies, nope. But now that I kind of stopped playing obviously for a bit, and
Mhm.
then I've had a full almost year of practice with the new Warzone that I've played like since it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So now I've just gotten a little bit better at it. So when I tried back going into Apex, which I could not learn for the life of me, when Joey first introduced it to me,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, if you kind of focus up and like we like do good, I'll buy you food. And I was like, you got it. So the first game in, we got a win. I had 2 kills. I was like, buy me food, sucker. But it was
And-
like all of the practice with Warzone,
Mhm.
because I wasn't familiar with like a PlayStation controller. I would play what was that game? It was like a bomb game that like was back like in the early 2000s, but it was like just on Xbox, where you had to like place a bomb and then it would like explode. Like it was like a little maze,
Mhm.
but I can't remember. I think it was like Bombard or something.
Sounds like Bomberman to me.
Bomberman, yeah,
Mhm.
somewhere along the line.
You're
But
talking to a
we would
nerd,
play
so
that. I'm. It was Bomberman, and then like there was one of like theater. it was like little theater like monsters that like would
Mm-hmm.
have to just go through like little trials. I would play games like that.
Okay.
And then just this year, it was more like Warzone, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting better at zombies. I don't get as many nightmares, but I mean, I used to go up to like level 6. Now we've gone up to like level 14.
Dang.
So it's just like progressively, I've been trying
Mm-hmm.
to like expand in the games that I play, because
Yeah.
I don't want to get stuck in one thing. Because yeah, like, it's great that you have this one game that you can, just be like, oh, I'm a boss at it. But if you're not good at other games, then it's kind of like your talents
Mm-hmm.
are just going to waste.
Yeah. And that's kind of like I used to play like almost a different game every stream, or like 3 games in one stream, and I've kind of reduced down to just playing like I mainly just play World of Warcraft now. And it was just a game that like kind of similar. It was like I didn't like it at first, and then I dropped off. I started watching. For me, it was like I started watching other people play it, and I was like, they're making it fun. Like, what just happened?
You okay?
Yeah, like my screen like
Okay.
flickered, so it's kind of
Yeah,
like
it
startled me.
happened to me earlier.
Like it just like I caught my eye and I was like, oh god. But not gonna name names, Matas, that got me into World of Warcraft the first time and may have left me behind to where I was like, I don't like this game anymore. Because we played as a group. But now that's kind of like the game that I like to play. Like, don't get me wrong, I still love playing Warzone and yelling at the top of my lungs and wanting to throw a controller. But
Wanted to just punch your screen.
oh my, no. I love my screen.
I mean, I've done that before.
Oh,
Joey has too.
I have thrown. This goes all the way back to playing on the Nintendo 64. I broke a 64 controller and then threw it at the TV. I was so mad.
Oh my god.
I would.
Yeah,
I
sometimes
raged
I feel
really
like
bad.
the tendency to like just break the controller, and I'm like, no, this is Joey's. Don't break it. So, I mean, Assassin's Creed has always been like one of the games that I've always like wanted to play, and then
Mhm.
now I just live vicariously through Poland, and I'm just like, yes. Nice.
And all I did was just played it on. I just played it on drop on the release day. Like I haven't played it on stream like since then, but maybe I should. I might do it on my night streams. Like
Maybe you
my morning
should.
streams are reserved for World of Warcraft because it's what wakes me up. If I play Assassin's Creed, I used to have some really, really late streams that like when I was working night shift, and I'd have really late streams, and I would literally be falling asleep with the controller in my hand just playing Assassin's Creed because there's not enough going on, I guess.
Yeah.
But
And see, like, there's a couple of games that have like a storyline. Like, I've
Mhm.
watched Joey play Chicago Become Human. I
Mhm.
think it's a game. And that one, like, I was like, oh, I want to play this like extensively. Like, if I have no people watching me, I still want to put that content out there.
Yeah.
Storyline games, like, we were literally talking about the Spider-Man games the other day.
Mhm.
It would just be cool to watch somebody play them. But I mean, I get, like I said, every person is different, and what's it called? Like their interests, obviously, like they go along to like how they're feeling. Like
Mhm.
sometimes I'm not always feeling Warzone, and then I'll play Among Us, and then I have like the time of my life.
Yeah.
Or I'll just play like Grounded, and I'm just like, I need to kill this spider.
Yeah.
But it all depends on the
The
day.
spiders are terrifying and Grounded.
Oh yeah,
Those are
they are.
huge. But we have one more question from the chat, and then I'm gonna have one more question from me. So, what is your favorite thing to do off stream to pass time and to relax?
I don't relax, or I guess TikTok. That's
Okay.
it. Yeah, I can't remember when it was like the last time that I've like sat down and. Oh well, I guess that was like about a week ago. I like made some breakfast, but I literally ate the breakfast about almost 30 to 45 minutes after I made it, so it was cold.
Mm-hmm.
But Joey had olive, and I just like sat and like watched a show that I like,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, crying because it was so emotional, and I was like
Mhm.
eating. I was like just enjoying myself,
Yeah.
and those were a good 45 minutes that I had to myself. But normally, like I mean, what is relaxation? What is that?
Well, let me rephrase it. Like, what do you like to do when you're not on stream? Like, any hobbies or anything that you really that like?
Cricket,
Okay.
cricket. I'm just kidding. I would say painting. I used to paint
Okay.
before like I started streaming. I used to sell paintings.
Mm-hmm.
So Olive likes to paint, so I'll paint with her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very crafty. So like for every gift that I've ever given Joey,
Mhm.
it's like always something that I bought, but always also something handmade
Uh-huh.
that I've done. And I just like, I don't know, I like DIYing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I guess.
And that's amazing. I mean, I'm not super crafty. I can make things, but most of the things that I make now are on the computer. Like, that's where I feel like I can kind of shine a little bit, is like when I'm doing more graphic design. So it's really cool that you like that you like painting, because painting is not easy in the slightest bit for someone like me, at least.
Yeah. So I actually took one course of art class throughout like my whole life, like in school. And it was literally just because I needed to like do an extracurricular in eighth grade.
Mhm.
And whatever techniques it was, the one thing that I did like was the printing of like cards, like what you like put paint like on a stamp and then you like push it on. Like I really like that.
Okay.
But I've never like, other than that, like I've never taken like an art class. He would be like, "Oh, you guys need to paint this." I would do it completely different, but I would still get the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
But like throughout the years, I would just kind of like challenge myself into like not drawing so like cartoony,
Mm-hmm.
into drawing realistically. I can draw perfectly realistically like with pencil, but once I put paint on it, it's like, what just happened there?
Yeah.
So it's just a little thing that I like try to work on whenever I have time.
Mm-hmm. We have a couple, or we have one really nice one from Jennifer saying that BbyBri is still my #1 favorite streamer. That's amazing.
Oh,
Miss Jennifer Schultz
oh
showing
yeah.
some love for BbyBri.
I mean, she killed me in customs, but that's okay. I'll let it slide.
Oh, scandal.
Here's the tea, sis. No, but Jennifer, if it's okay with her, she had actually come into my stream one day and she was like, "Oh, I want to play with you." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool. Just play." And that night she didn't join up. But she had sent me a message like to my page. And she was like, "Oh, just to let you know, like I'm transitioning from male to female, so my voice is a little bit different."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Well, is your name Jennifer?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Do you identify as a girl?" She's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay, why won't you play with me? Like, what's stopping you?" And she thought that I would like judge her because of who she is. And I was like, "No, like just come in. Like if anybody says anything, then they shouldn't even be watching me right now." Excuse me.
Yeah.
But after that, she kind of played one game a week, and it just turned into like just I saw her confidence kind of going up higher. And she was like, "Oh yeah, like I'm Jennifer, like let's play." She's in my all women like regiment. Got a frog in my throat, I'm sorry. But she actually told me that she was just like scared because of like what she's gone through like herself. And I was like, "Dude, like it's okay, like I'm completely okay. I'm an advocate for like the LGBTQ community. Like whatever you do, as long as you're not an asshole to one another, and
Mm-hmm.
as long as like you're just positive, like you're more than welcome to stay as long as you like.
Yeah.
And she's been here ever since. Like she's gotten more comfortable with like playing with other streamers, which
Mm-hmm.
with personal experience, that makes me super happy because now
Yeah.
she doesn't feel the need to like send them a message and be like, oh hey, this is my situation. But because it's not a situation, it's something that like I always try to word it like correctly, because like it's nothing that she should be ashamed of.
Yeah, because
And
it's who she is.
yeah, and she should never have to like explain, or anybody should ever have to explain like their situation for like not donating,
Mm-hmm.
having a higher pitched voice or having a lower pitched voice. Like literally, I always tell people, because people come in and they're like, oh, I'm the highest in my city and I have a 7 point something KD. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. Can you have fun?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, then let's play. Like that's literally it. I don't care about your stats. I don't care how tall you are, how much you weigh. Like
Mm-hmm.
as long as you're just having fun and you enjoy yourself, that's all that matters.
Yeah. So to kind of wrap this up, after all those amazing things you just said, I want to ask. This is a kind of going back into like a streamer mode. Is so what's next for BbyBri? So like, what's a short term goal like here like by the end of the year and the next month? Like, what's a goal you
Oh, God.
have, and then what's one like by the end of next year or by this time next year? Like, what are some goals that you've kind of thought up? Like, that's what you want to achieve.
I want to become a partner, honestly.
Okay.
That's like the really big one. And everybody tells me like, oh, hashtag Bri for partner. I've seen
Mhm.
you drop it in my chat a couple of times.
Just a couple.
Just like a couple. But that's mainly like my big goal, because then I don't really have to worry about like stars,
Mm-hmm.
and I can just make videos.
Yeah.
And like it's not even like people are donating. It's kind of like Facebook just kind of pays me, and I can still
Mhm.
have that tight knit community and be like with them, but
Yeah.
also like be a little bit more with my daughter. And like obviously I made a really long post as to why I wasn't going to be playing Warzone, because it just
Mhm.
frustrates the heck out of me.
Yeah.
But
There's
what's it
Mike.
called?
With those hashtags.
But it's mostly like to be able to like provide for Olive. Like that's
Yeah.
literally like the biggest thing that I want to do. That's it. I just want her to have a good childhood, something that like Joey and I like never fully had, and like to have both parents and just like support her and be able to connect with others and be like, hey, you got frustrated with your kid, it's okay. Like I get frustrated with mine every 5
Yeah.
minutes, but
It's 100%
you know what? Let's
relatable.
not kill them together.
Yeah.
that was a joke. That was a joke. But like, because parents also need their me time.
Yeah.
But that's like the biggest thing. I see people that have, I think the one that I saw was like 10,000 followers and they're partnered. And
Mhm.
I always like, I'm my biggest critic, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like,
Yeah.
why can't I have that? But I'm still super thankful for my community. I'm still super
Mhm.
thankful for everything that they do, because regardless, I can still do what it is that I need to do for my daughter, and
Yeah.
still be able to like connect with all of my followers and everybody that I play with, and
Mhm.
other streamers as well. Amber Spice came into my chat and she's like, oh my god, I love you so much. And she's from my city, and I'm just like, same. So like it's just about like building each other up. And I feel like if I had that title, I could help smaller streamers also, and like help them get like where they need to. I try to always get them to at least 100 so they can be, and level up,
Mhm.
so that
And
they
yeah.
can just like move forward and make it a little bit easier for them.
Mhm. And what you just said is what literally everybody in my community that streams, everyone that I talk to that streams says, not even with the being partnered. Like it's just in general, like, you'll see, like like say if I have, you know, like I have 1,200 followers now, like, but I see somebody with 800 followers, just they have more reactions, they get more stars, they get like their videos are doing way much better and getting more views than mine are. Like it's something that like what we were talking about earlier is like you're your biggest enemy, you're your biggest critic, because you're gonna keep saying that. The best way that I've found is like just instead of going like, man, what am I doing wrong? Because sometimes there is that what am I doing wrong moment. But when you watch yourself back, like what I've always done is like watch yourself back and it's like, well, what am I going to improve from the last stream? Like you just do one little small things. At least that's what I've been trying to do. It's not always easy, but it's not always
like
easy
literally
to like
Joey
watch
tells
yourself.
me like you should be a little bit nicer to like people, like don't fight in your chat, and I'm like, but they were being mean to me.
Yeah. And James,
I know like I need to kind of work on that. I'm so sorry,
Mhm.
like I didn't
No,
mean to
you're
like
fine.
over talk with
No,
you,
you're good.
but I literally had this incident where this guy said that he was like the best in the world or like in his city. And I was like, oh, I don't care about that. Like, as long as you have fun, like, it's all love, like, here. And I really, like, watched myself back afterwards because he said that I was stuck up. And I was like, I have a 0.6 KD, sir. How is that stuck up? Like, how am I thinking that I'm better than you? And, like, he just kept continuing on. And it was, like, really, like, frustrating for me because I was like, dude, like, I was literally just telling you that I don't care. Like we were in custom lobbies, like anybody could join. Like if you wanted to join, just join up on me. It wasn't really like that hard. And I guess like with me saying that, I did come off a little bit strong, and towards the end I was like, dude, like now I'm gonna be rude to you because like you kind of just push my buttons. And Joey tells me like, don't let that get to you. And for a while I've been kind of good, and he tells me like, oh, you need to be a little bit more like positive and bubbly, and I'm like the little angry cat. I'm just like, no. I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, I'm as positive as my mental capacity allows me. And like the people that do watch me and that have supported me for so long, like they understand and they know that anything that I say doesn't mean to come out like in a wrong way. Like it's just, you know, if they're joking around or anything, like I'll joke around with them, but like they know I have a very monotone voice. Like I can't just be like, oh yippee, like, you know. Like it just doesn't come naturally to me. And I'm just like, yo, hey, what's up, dude? And people will tell me like, I don't see you as like this gamer streamer titty girl. Like I see you as one of my bros. And I'm like, oh cool. Like I didn't want to be seen as anything else. Like just think of me as like your friend, and like, you know, we're just playing. Like that's it.
So just keep spread, like what Bri's saying, just keep spreading the positivity out there. Whether you can or can't on some days, like always at least try. Like I mean, like my message is one that I've seen a lot of streamers use as well. Like everyone is on board with this, spread the love. Just keep spreading love out there, keep spreading your positivity. But let me send this real quick. I think that's all the time I got. We went a little bit longer than I had originally thought, but we had a lot of good stuff. Thank you so much, Bri, for coming in here. Like it was great. It's like 2 or 3 months in the making. I think I asked you like months ago, like, hey, do you want to come in and do this interview? And now we're here.
There was just like issues going on. But
it's been amazing having you on here. It's great that my community that hasn't been able to come over to you finally gets to see who you are, you know, outside of the stream world, just in here being Bri, you know. And for everybody in the chat, thank you guys for coming in. Be sure to go and show Bri some love as well. But until next time, I want you guys to keep spreading the love, keep doing your thing. Next week on the Poll and Co sessions, we will be having a good old duo. We will have the father and son nerd review up here, Mike and Zach, the power duo. The Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar, if you're wrestling fans. But until then, I'll see you guys Friday morning. Have a great night.